A lot of jiu-jitsu players complain about pain in their elbows, and today we're going to address that. So let's start off up on your knees. So we're going to get a bit of a 2-for-1. You can sit on the instep of your feet, or you can come up onto your toes into this kneeling position. This is a bit of a 2-for-1, but I want you to hold both of your hands out straight, and we're going to go with some wrist rotations. So here, we don't want to be rolling our wrists around willy-nilly. We want to be very intentional, big rotations of the wrists. Try to keep your elbows straight here, but if this is uncomfortable for you, you can have a slight bend in your elbows, but it's better if you have them straight, held out in front of you. We're getting very intentional rotation, very intentional movement. We're just warming up the joints. In a moment, we're going to warm up our elbows. I want to work on some different mobility modalities to relieve some of that tension and pain and get some blood flow back into your elbows. A lot of the time when people are first starting jiu-jitsu, it's a bit of a shock when you have a lot of elbow pain. Maybe they're thinking they're doing something wrong, but this is pretty common. A lot of the time it's due to over gripping too tightly, trying to muscle things too much, because this is instinctual and this is what we default to. We don't know too many techniques, so we just grab hold of something and hold on for dear life. Now change direction. So just know that elbow discomfort, elbow tightness, elbow pain is very common and dare I say normal when you're beginning jiu-jitsu, and even if you've been training for a while. This is very different from like if you've tried to fight a armbar for too long or something like that, then it could be a different story. Big intentional rotations of the wrist. Okay, now we're going to rotate our elbows. Straighten them out to your side. You've probably done this as a warm-up drill in class, but a lot of the time I see people just throwing their arms around. Here we want big circles, very intentional rotation of the elbow. What we're doing here is we're priming our arms from the wrist all the way to the shoulders, getting ready for the work that we're about to do. Very intentional circles here, and reverse directions for me. To get a 2-for-1 here, make sure that your posture is nice and straight. Slight brace in your core, and whilst I'm talking and giving you instructions, steady breath in through your nose and out through your mouth or your nose. Okay, so now we're going to do big rotations of our shoulder. Your arms, your hands rather, may touch the floor. That's okay. Big rotation, very intentional here. Change directions. Try to have your hands almost graze your ears. Very intentional rotations. Okay. Oh, a bit of a crack in the neck. Feels good. Shake it out. Now we're going to start with our right side. I want you to place your hand out in front of you. With your left hand, you're going to C-grip onto your wrist, straighten your elbow, your right elbow, and you're going to work in different rays, different vectors, different directions here, and push with your elbow straight, driving your elbow pit forward, push your arm into different vectors here. The goal here is to keep your wrist pinned down, and you're moving it through different ranges of motion. Stimulate some static stretching, but taking a static stretch and giving it a dynamic twist, as I like to say, as we're pushing our arm through different ranges of motion. If your elbows are particularly sore, it's good to address both upstream and downstream of the problem area. And I do recommend using some mobility tools to really get into your biceps, triceps, and your forearms. If you want a more specific guide on how to do that, I do have some elbow fix tutorials that include mobility equipment, so check them out. Okay, now I'm gonna place my palm out in front, C-grip here, and do the same thing, but my hand is now in a different orientation. Get a different look at it. You can also perform this exercise with a resistance band, doing pretty much what your hand's doing for you. It does work a little bit better with a resistance band, but we'll just work with what we have. Okay, now placing your left hand out in front of you. Again, we started with this 90-degree angle on our palm on the floor. Using our right hand now, we're gonna C-grip our wrist right at the bottom of our wrist and use the hand, it's almost like a fulcrum to pin down your wrist and move your arm into different rays, different vectors. You should feel this deep in your elbow, running up your forearm and maybe even in your biceps. So drive your elbow pit forward, really will assist getting a different look in. There's no really like right or wrong way of moving here. As you can see, if you have a little sneak peek at the screen, I'm just moving through different ranges of movement here. Not hanging out anywhere for too long, but if something feels particularly good, stay there, hang out there until it feels more neutral, and then move on. Excellent. It's a reminder to breathe steadily in through your nose or out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your nose or your mouth. Okay. Now you're gonna place your palm out straight like we did last time. Again, resume the C-grip and work this different direction here in front. Just remember to drive your elbow pit forward so you're actively engaging with your elbow here. This is really gonna activate the wrists, improve your wrists. Just starting the wrist, working our way to the elbow. Okay, let's rotate it out, give it a shake. Okay, now we're gonna do some trapped fists. So take your right fist, place it on the mat in front of you. With your left hand, we're gonna take up that C-grip again, but this time we're gripping over our fist and we're going to straighten our elbow, drive your elbow pit forward and release. You're gonna straighten, drive your elbow pit forward and release. You don't need to go all the way down or to a specific range. You just need to release the tension from your elbow. Let's go for 10 reps each side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's swap sides now. Make a fist down on the mat, C-grip over the top of your wrist, straighten, drive your elbow pit forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Shake it out. Now we're going to work in some palm stretches. This is more of a static hold. So what I want you to do is, if you're on your knees, just widen your knees out a little bit so you can operate in between your knees, and that you're going to place your palms, your fingers on the floor in front of you with your palms facing away. And you're going to bend your elbows down in between your knees here, so you start to feel a stretch through your palms all the way up into your forearms, into your elbow. Lean into this as much or as little as you want, as you can, until you start feeling that nice stretch through your palms. And we're just gonna hold here. Reminder to breathe deep in through your nose, out through your nose or your mouth. Take up any slack that becomes available to you, sink in. And release. Okay, excellent. All right, let's go back to the trap fist, starting back with the right hand, pinning over the top. And let's go for 10 reps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll swap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really drive that elbow pit forward. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Okay, so straight back into the palm stretch, placing your fingertips on the mat, palms facing away from you, and sink down into that stretch. Give me some big, deep breaths into your diaphragm here. Really breathe into it. And release. Shake it out. Okay, so today's session was all about addressing your wrists and elbows, trying to alleviate some of that tension. There's so many other things that you can do for your elbows. If that's something that you're specifically concerned or interested about, check out some of the other elbow fix videos on the channel, or check out the BJJ Performance and Longevity course for more targeted mobility work.